She's downstairs. Hello, everyone. Let's see if this will turn on. My name is Joe. I am a writer. I am a Reiki healer and musician in Buffalo, New York. I wanted to make this video and talk about the reform of the education system. Is something that I'm interested in as a teacher. So for me, I think the common sense aspect of it is that students should be students. Now, what I mean by this is, what is the definition of learn? And they are prepared to learn, and they are physically actually at a place where they can learn. To me, that's the definition of a student. And so the reason that I said that first sentence is because a lot of these students, they aren't actually students. They aren't really at a place where they're willing to learn, or they want to learn, or are prepared to learn. So to me, I think the dealing with the reality of the present moment first is necessary, right? So schools should not feel like prisons. They should not feel like detention centers or concentration camps. They should feel like safe places, safe spaces where children can learn and can explore. You can change. 1 second, everyone. You can change this. Turn this right up. So, with that being said, oh, is there someone watching this yet? That'd be cool. Yeah. Does it say? One? Who knows? No idea. So, with that being said, what is it that the education system needs to be reformed on? So, if we have a class full of students and they're all there wanting to learn something, that is a huge success. So, if there's any teachers watching this and you teach say you teach at Buffalo Public Schools, or you teach in any level, right? But it's a classroom setting. What is it that you want from the students? You want them to actually want to learn. That's the first step. That's the most important step, actually. So that they can feel, so the teachers can feel actually like they can teach. Because, for example, I've encountered this. A teacher can only do so much. They can be there for the student, but if the student isn't engaging, right, they don't want to learn, then they're not actually being a student. They're just literally a body, meaning that they're physically in the classroom, but They're not actually studenting. So I know that's a little bit different than what we're probably you expecting to hear in this video, but that's my perspective. As someone who actually is interested in teaching, yeah, like really actually, right? I'm not interested in having a career as a teacher. I'm interested in actually being a teacher. So, for example, I actually enjoy teaching. The reason I am a teacher is not because it's for a paycheck, it's because it's who I am. So, that those people, like myself, are the ones who should be teaching. No offense if someone decided, "Hey, I'd like to try my hand at being a teacher and to have a career and to get paid." That's not wrong, that's not bad. But when the teachers who are really wholeheartedly invested in the truth and in teaching and in sharing knowledge, then those people need to be in positions of influence. They need to be in schools. So, what is it that we prioritize? Let's put it this way. So, me being unable to enter a school setting, I teach at Guitar Center, and it's amazing. It's a great job. But it has been eerily difficult for me to move forward with my career path as a teacher. I I don't care to worry about it because I know that God has deigned me to be a teacher. And despite what society thinks I'm supposed to be doing, God knows what I'm doing and what I'm interested in. So, for example, anywhere that I go, if there are people around me, I'm going to end up learning and I'm going to end up teaching. And that has nothing to do with a career. It has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with power and control. It has nothing to do with anything besides the will of God, right? To bring people unto himself. So for example, because I enjoy teaching, but I don't think that teaching should be some stress-ridden occupation that people have to somehow try to suppress their honesty, and then it's like, you got to try and put on a good face and blah, 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 blah. That is not what this is about. Being yourself, being authentic, being honest, having integrity, having principles, having values, all of these things are what make gurus gurus and what make teachers teachers. And it was what's also paradoxically kind of awesomely makes students students. Now, let me explain that. The first two I was saying, being authentic, being yourself, being honest makes a guru, and it makes a teacher. It makes the master a master, but I also said it makes the student a student. So what I mean by this, by the second, when I said in the beginning of the video, I said my standard is that I teach students, and then I defined what I mean by a student. They're prepared, they're willing, and they're actually present. That's a student. Okay, so if someone's actually genuinely living authentically resonating as a teacher, the student's nature of wanting to learn and to gain knowledge and wisdom and enlightenment and God, right, to attain that, right, in whatever subject, that will actually come out because the teacher is being who they are called to be. Then the student is responding to that. It's a very divine, beautiful relationship, teacher and student relationship. I'm making a video. So the biggest challenge that I have for, well, yeah, there being a teacher and there being a student. So, for example, if I had a teacher, the student needs to be able to trust the teacher. They need to be able to trust the teacher. It shouldn't be some kind of, you know, sketchy, weird feeling all the time. So even if you're a genius and you know all this stuff, but if the students are uncomfortable, well then that's not conducive for learning. That's you maybe could write a textbook, but in order to actually open someone's heart, there requires there's that whatever that is. It's like this rawness, kind of a fearless kind of um, just beauty, you know. So for example, a real teacher is someone that's actually excited about learning, is what makes a teacher. So for example, a teacher wouldn't gotten to the place of being a teacher if they weren't first a very good student. And for them to pass on the lineage of that, right, is one of the most honorable and rewarding um, aspects of reality, I'll even say. Because, for example, when we have masters, so if we have masters in all these different fields, right? So, for example, I'm a Reiki master. I know my lineage, I know how to heal people, and I also know how to teach people. Um, so, passing on that lineage is surrounded in honor, and it's a beautiful thing to be able to do that. Um, so, for example, that goes on, that applies to anything. If you're a medical doctor, if you're a scientist, if you're a philosophy teacher, right? So for me, I think another little tenant, meaning like a value or a moral that I have, principle, um, a law, I guess you could say, spiritually speaking, that I have for myself, a standard. You can hear that I'm a writer because I love just listing adjectives, you know, or synonyms, right? It's like I'm a thesaurus. So, so the idea is that we have, uh, let's see, what was I talking about? The master and the student. There is a need for humility, for a teacher to be fully expressive. So, for a teacher to actually be at the pinnacle of mastery, which is what it is, they have to be perfectly humble. And the universe knows this. That's why I'm telling you, what is humility? The willingness to be wrong, to consider that you're wrong. It does not mean being disrespected or being disrespectful, by the way. It means acknowledging every other perspective, seeing with the eyes of love, with equality, with honor, and then there's a deep trust and humility. So, for example, being able to tune in with the students, being able to say, what could they possibly need from me today? And being willing to allow that to be the reality. So that's that's what I wanted to talk about today. It's about, what is that, 15 minutes, 42 seconds. So I guess the title of this was the reform of the education system, but I kind of, instead of taking it and like, we got to change this and we got to color the walls brown and put in more water fountains and hand sanitizers, which is all great. But in reality, promote honor, promote peace, promote integrity, promote discipline, and listen. So thank you for listening to me ramble on. Great Led Zeppelin tune. May we be. I hope that this video gave you something worthwhile. I have no idea who's going to see it. Obviously, it's a live video, but this is the first live video I've ever done. I'll probably do more in the future, but for now, it should be. I'll just end the video there. So, Ram Ram. By the way, Ram Ram, RAM, is Sanskrit for God's love be with you. That's what that means. So, Ram Ram. All right. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye.